What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is A2D Wednesday nights. I'm going to give your Eagles, Bills predictions at the end of the show. But right away, Sixers, Timberwolves, live reactions. Come talk with us. Giddy up.
What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Slap.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
Welcome in, everybody. This is A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio. And every Wednesday, we are brought to you by Royal Billiard, the premier game room store in the Delaware Valley. They're stocked with the very best in pool tables, accessories, shuffleboards, card tables, dart supplies, bars, bar stools. You can turn any ordinary room into an extraordinary gaming experience. Oh, did we mention they have hot tubs too? Stop by Royal Billiard, 515 Bethlehem Pike, Colmar, PA, or visit them on the web, royalbilliard.com. As always, Chrome, Blake, Ralphie, I'm Tom. Everybody out there, welcome in. No Ryan, no Frank, no Noah tonight, and no Greg, who's just doing frequent flyer miles. He's getting his frequent flyer miles in because he's a weirdo. But we can save that for the end of the show. We're going to give you our Eagles, Bills predictions, players of the game, our score prediction, offense, defensive players of the game, all that when it pertains to Eagles, Bills, and probably give you a quick little recap of what we saw Monday too. So we'll get into Eagles talk later on. Our main topic conversation, it's going to be Sixers, Timberwolves live reactions, and that's all going to tie into our poll brought to you by Carlino's Market. They're located in Ardmore, Westchester, PA. Go check them out. You can check them out online, carlinosmarket.com, or all your social media platforms. And you can order stuff online like gourmet cheeses, meats, olive oils, gift baskets. Go elevate your dining experience with Carlino's Gourmet Italian Deli. Discover the taste of Italy now. Carlino's Market, Ardmore, Westchester, PA. Our poll for tonight. Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid are the best duo in the NBA. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, that's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow, and most importantly tonight, happy Thanksgiving to everybody tomorrow. You know, I ain't going to see everybody out there tomorrow. So I want to make sure I get it in. Get it in right now. No, a little early. We're a little early. A couple hours here. But wanted to get that out to everybody and hope everybody enjoys, you know, the time with their family, friends, and, you know, get after some food too. And be thankful when you're getting after it. All right? Be thankful. Well, I mean, it's tough because there's tons of really good duos in the NBA, right? I mean, there's a laundry list of duos in the NBA. Right now, though, the numbers they're put up together are right there with the best duos in the league right now. We're not talking about like the best duo of all time or who's been better longer together or who's won together or who, you know, at the prime of their careers would have been better together, right? We're not talking about that. We're talking about right this moment. Right this moment, Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid are the best duo in the NBA. Do you agree or disagree? Like I said, it's tough. Other guys have a bigger track record too. So, you know, I know people are going to put that into this conversation, and I get it, right? I get it. But those two are unstoppable together. Like they're consistently getting their numbers night in, night out together. You know, Maxey's had a game here or there where it wasn't great, of course, right? Like every young player, but they get their numbers. Those two get it. Where other guys, the duos don't always get it. One guy might be heavy, other guy not, right? Their consistency this year I'm talking about is why I'm going to agree. You got a long way to go to be the best this season, right? But right now, through the 14 games that I've watched, not including tonight, because tonight's the first game Joel hasn't played in, all right, they've been sensational together. They really have. You know, we haven't lost because of Joel and Tyrese playing well together, right, guys? That's not why the Sixers have been losing games, for anybody that's watched them. And you know, I think when they're a full complement of guys are here, they're really even more dangerous, right? As we've seen just getting Batum and Rocco back. I feel like they've already been better. And you get Ubri back. But listen, I think they're the best duo in the NBA right this minute. This isn't a longevity thing. This isn't, Joe, you know what I mean? This isn't any of that. Joker, Murray, great duo. Obviously, they just won it all, right? They just won the whole damn thing. Great duo. But right this minute, are they better? Are they playing at a higher level than Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey? Because they rank high. They rank top 3 in all the categories that matter when you talk about duos. You got one guy that no one wants to talk about how he's become a playmaker with the ball in his hands, and Joel Embiid, how he's elevated his game this year. Nobody wants to talk about that. National media don't want to talk about it. Okay, it doesn't fit. Where he's trying to turn himself into a complete player. Some of the issues that Ralphie's heard me scream about on Wednesdays for years now of him getting double teamed and it's being like all out of whack, a dog on a hardwood floor with it, right? Instead of stepping through the double team and looking for, right? And I've got more guys that are willing to cut without the basketball, okay? Different things like that open things up, and a better coach. But his playmaking game is going up a notch. So that matters. Tyrese Maxey's taking a major jump this year, right? And he's still going to have his games on and off, but his jump's been big time if anybody's watching. So there's my rant. We had to get through a lot. I didn't talk for 6 minutes, though, even though it says it on the ticker. So I'm done. I agree. Let people disagree. I know people should, but I'm not going to go to where everybody else is going to go on this one, because this is just talking into existence too here.
I'll go next.
Please do.
I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to disagree to the poll. I think the best duo right now in the NBA is obviously the two guys that won it last year, and Jokic and Murray. Just the things that Jokic can do. I mean, the dude steps on the floor, and it seems like in already 2 minutes, he already has a triple-double. And Jamal Murray has definitely come into his own throughout the years that he was in Denver. And those two have been together for so far their whole entire careers. I think it's been 7 or 8 years they've been together. So the chemistry is there. But I would say Tyrese and Joel are on the path to become a great duo together. It's just that now Tyrese has the keys to the car and can fully take over that point guard position without having to step into the point guard position like when James Harden was here and when Ben Simmons was here, for him to excel at what he does with Joel Embiid now. So I think moving forward, they can become the best duo in the NBA. Right now, I do not think they are the best duo in the NBA. I still give it to Jokic, and I give it to Jamal Murray as well.
Yep, like I said, I figured people were gonna use last year, and I get it, because it's fresh in our brains, and they're great together,
Oh, 100%, 100%. They're really, really good together.
I feel like go ahead, Chrome.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I reserve judgment to change my answer down the road, but I think they're on the way. I'm actually going to disagree to the poll too. I mean, they're close, but there's two duos that I really look at that I really like, and one, Ralph will be happy about this. The level that LeBron's playing at this year, and AD continues to fill the stats and stay healthy. They don't have the supporting cast that the Sixers have, so I don't think it shows in the record. But man, when those two are on the court and they're playing their game, they're really, really a tough matchup. And then, another one I think goes a little bit under the radar. I'm really big on De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis at Sacramento. I mean, two guys that fill the stat sheets. I mean, Sabonis is a walking, 18 points and like 13 rebounds almost every night. 20 points around that range. And that's another team that I think has a young duo that's emerging in the league. So, to me, that's the top 3 duos, including Embiid and Maxey. And I just, again, I don't know if Sacramento has the supporting cast right now that the Sixers do either. And the West is a stacked conference. So, if I was to give it to one right now, honestly, for me, it's De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis.
Wow, you're going there. Okay. There's a lot of duos.
I was not expecting that one.
No, and I like that duo a lot, but they don't have a player at the level of Joel Embiid with that duo. So it's hard for me to put him ahead, but I love that duo because if Ralph knows this one too from doing shows. I was a huge De'Aaron Fox guy. Right.
Yeah, you wanted them to draft him.
Yeah, he didn't.
I mean, if you look at Sabonis, he's averaging almost a triple double at this point. He's
He's
averaging.
sensational. He's always been, but he's not like he's not a star, right? He's just a damn good player.
See, I feel, and I agree with you, but I feel like, this is the thing where, like, I feel like when certain guys play in certain places, right? Like, I feel like when you're in Sacramento, I don't think you get the attention.
He could have been in Los Angeles, right? And already had a star on the goddamn ground there. All right, his name on a star. All right. And at the end of the day, he's not a star. So I don't care where he's playing at. He's a damn good player. No. That's all I'm saying.
I understand that. But again, I'm looking at guys who are filling the stat sheets, who are playing above, majority of the players that they go against on the opposition. And
he's like I said,
Sabonis is
good.
Tremendous. And
obviously
De'Aaron Fox is another guy. He's averaging almost 30 points a game, almost 5.5 rebounds, almost or 4 assists. I mean, he's doing what he does too, and he can close out games. So I mean, again, it's a very, very close grouping, I think, at the top. Obviously, you throw in Jokic and Murray as well. Really, some really strong duos in the NBA right now, and that's the fun thing.
Yep, that's what they're trying to get to. I love a lot of duos, so like I'm agreeing because I know a lot of people are going to disagree, and their numbers speak to them this season. Remember, we're just talking about this year. Nothing else matters. Like, again, obviously, then everybody would take Denver. I'm talking about their numbers this year. Jamal Murray didn't play the last 2 nights, so he can't even count. He's missed more games. I don't know how many games he's missed besides that. But
absolutely,
and obviously they got the best or second best player in basketball, however you want to look at it, right? But I agree with you about the Lakers, about how the way LeBron's playing. I still think AD's soft, so I never can put AD into a great duo combo, even though he's playing with the best player in the last 2 decades, who's still playing. But you know what I mean? Or maybe he puts Steph
and
in
still
there.
Playing at a high level.
I mean, Steph was in there. Steph was in the best player in basketball for a good 7. So I'll give Steph in that conversation for a good 7-8 years, maybe even now. I don't even know because that's special, But there's so many great duos. To your point, that it's an easy disagree but I just want people to look at it, try to look at it this year. And like Eddie said, he hasn't watched enough around the rest of the league to answer it. It's a good answer.
Well, that's why I went with the Kings. That's why I went with the Kings. I'm going by what I've seen at this point so far this season. Like, to me, those 3, and I'm taking Jokic and Murray out of it, those are the 3 top duos, I think, in terms of production. That you're talking about guys that are doing everything on the court. They're playing defense, offense, and really affecting games. I find it hard to, and you're right, there's a ton of good duos in the league. I find it hard to find anybody better than those 3, and I feel like it is almost like you could throw the names in a hat and pick one out and make a strong argument for any of those 3.
Yeah, I'm curious to what Blake's answer is going to be, because I won't put this duo out yet. I'll wait a second, right? Because there's another duo that I don't want to get skipped on tonight. There's one duo that I think is really good that I don't want skipped. So go ahead, Blake. Do you agree or disagree?
I'm going to disagree to the point that I think Ralphie and Chrome have said that I think they're well on their way, but I still agree that also that Jokic and Murray are probably one of the best duels probably still in the NBA, and they proved it by winning the title last year. So like I said, I think they're on their way, and I like what I'm seeing so far, but I think there's more to see until we put them in that echelon of top backcourts in the NBA.
True. And it also goes to the point too that I'm actually surprised nobody has said the 2 guys in Milwaukee yet, to be completely honest, and Dame and Giannis, right?
Because their games really don't fit. That's the difference that people don't understand.
You would think they would flow off with each other, but if you I watched the other game the other night when I forget who were they playing on ESPN. It was just they just flow so weird together. They really do. Because Giannis has always been that guy that has been, give me the ball and just move out of my way. And then Dame's pretty much almost the same way. It's just obviously it's going to take time for them to, to groove and stuff like that. But so far it's been weird with those 2 watching them on the same court.
I agree, Ralph. I think the thing with Philly sports bet that I think most people will say it looks good on paper, but in reality, it's really not good on paper because Giannis can't shoot. So you know what I mean? When you can play off a guy like that, he will shoot, but he's not like a lead at it. He's a lead at getting downhill, right? Like as he should be, and he's a gazelle, and he runs like a gazelle. So you know, right? He'll give you his 30 a night getting downhill, but he's not like a. If the difference of him pick and rolling, if Dame was with Joel, who actually has a presence from the outside, that pick and roll game
is more lethal. It's way more lethal than pick and roll with Giannis. Yeah,
or Joker, right? Or you know, a few other bigs that can stretch like Karl-Anthony Towns. There's guys that would match perfect with Dame. It wasn't him. It doesn't mean it won't work because they're both special. So it doesn't mean it won't work. It's not the perfect fit. It to me, it was never great on paper. It was great because you have two great names, right? And they're different. And
the names is what sticks out to everybody, right?
Oh, forward guard, perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
The most like. And go ahead.
I was saying, I saw Brown and Tatum mentioned, and my reason why I don't have them in that necessarily that top 3 or 4. Jalen Brown, I feel like it's been real hit and miss this season. I feel like there's been some games where he's really disappeared.
Let's make that clear. It's this year, right? Let's keep making that
just
clear
this year
for anybody jumping in late. You know?
They're tremendous, and everybody knows, Tom. Anybody who's watched this show over the last year and a half knows. Even though he's a Celtic, we are big Jalen Brown guys. That we were dying hoping he would be a sign and trade guy or somehow leave last year, right?
Yeah,
I would have loved to see him play with Joel, but this year Tatum's been Tatum. He's looked really, really good. Although he's another one. Like I feel like this year, a lot of his damage is done in the fourth quarter. The first 2.5, 3 quarters, it feels like I don't want to say he drags his feet, but the production is not there. But the fourth quarter hits and he starts banging buckets down. But Jalen Brown is a guy I feel like he's been hit and miss this year. There's games where I can think of 3 or 4 games of the Celtics this year that I watched where he almost kind of disappeared. But then he'll come out and have a big game, and I think that kind of skews his averages a little bit because of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Don said Paul George and Kawhi. It's just that those two you want to talk about two guys that can't stay healthy. I mean, it seems like every 5 games they're out with an injury. And so far, those two have been like the complete opposite of best duos in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I know it's the Clippers and, it's the whole, Lakers Clippers thing. But in reality, those two really can't stay healthy and haven't been healthy for their stretch they've been together so far.
It's a trend. It's a trend, Ralphie. So 44 seconds left. Sixers down 12. You're hoping maybe you get a stop here, cut it to 10.
Get it down to 10 or under 10, man. That'd be huge.
I'd like to see Shake Milton stop hitting threes on us. That'd be great.
Who was the other duo, Tom, that you had, or did we mention them?
I didn't. Hold on. Sixers got 25 seconds left. Up to Paul Reed. Gets away with maybe a walk. 10. So now the lead is down to 10. So
stop here and keep it at 10.
Keep it here. Get one more stop. 15 seconds left. Coming up under 10. Kyle Anderson with his slow ass. Just moving all slow. 5 seconds. Anderson on the take. Doesn't get it, but a tip in. Yep.
All right.
Wow. Well, all right. Down 12. That's still manageable, right? It's still in striking distance. So the fourth quarter, it's going to be interesting to see who's got some fresh legs, right? That's the biggest thing. Who's got legs left in them, right? You hope a couple guys do. My other duo, again, not a big sample size here at all. I mean, very little. But you talk about Booker and Durant. I mean, that's a problem.
I mean, Durant's been phenomenal this year too.
Durant's phenomenal every year.
But he's like, I
think you can make the argument.
He looked like he turned the clock back a little bit this year. I mean, he was putting up 30 points at one point. Almost seemed like every night. Now Booker being back, this is what, his second game back or first game back?
Second game back. Yeah, second or third game back. And funny enough, Bradley still hasn't even played yet. Bradley Beal hasn't even played a game yet.
Yeah, he did.
He's played.
Oh, did he?
And he got hurt again.
Oh yeah, with the back. Yeah. I don't know why I kept.
And you know what's funny though? When he did play,
that's right. He did play. Those 3 haven't played together at all yet. Those 3 haven't been playing.
This might be the new Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie, Harden and Durant, where we may
I don't
not
know.
get
You
a
don't
whole
have as
lot of
many-
games together with this.
I don't know. You don't have many losers there. There's not many losers there. Like,
I'm talking in terms of totality of games, of all of them being on the court at the same time because of injuries and
you might not
other
get all
things.
three. You might not get all three, but dude, I think Booker and Durant will be good. Like Booker,
Oh, I agree.
Booker will be fine. You know, he missed his time. He's back and he's lighting it up. Those two are lighting it up together. So, I mean, you almost don't even need
Agreed.
anybody else around with them. Durant, yeah, I mean, Durant, you could make the case that, you know, some basketball guys will tell you he's better than LeBron, you know, throughout their career. So, I mean, he's special. But the Sixers tonight can find a way to come back and maybe win a game and steal one here. And I say steal because you're without the MVP of the league. So that it would be a steal. And where are you getting your offense from? So tonight they've had to look a little elsewhere, and you can see, and then obviously you get hurt defensively. And elsewhere is Maxey at 16, but he's shooting 41% from the field. I don't love that. He's 0 for 3 from 3. Melton's got 16, and Marcus Morris is giving that other offense, and he's shooting 54%, 3 from 5 from 3, with 16, and then Tobias has 13. He's 4 for 10 from the field. And Rocco's got 10. No, sorry, Rocco's got 5 off your bench. Paul Reed's got 8. House has 2. And Bev and Springer, nothing. So who's going to give you the production here in the fourth? Money time. Money, money, money. All right, then we'll start with the basketball. What do they call that? Call that a foul?
How you guys liking Pat Bev so far?
I like Bev. He's firm never to shoot, but I like him. You know, sometimes he steps into that 3 and you're like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want you.
I forgot Shake was with Minnesota. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he missed the 3 and then they got a rebound and kicked it right back in the same spot and he buried it. Yep, and Towns just buried a 3. So now it leads up to 15 for the Timberwolves. Not ideal. I hate to say it, I don't think this is a game Sixers are coming back in. I mean, they're 23% from 3. You can see the legs from the OTA. There's a turnover by Bev. And a big easy basket. Oh my God. You guys see Melton saying he didn't touch it.
Yeah.
Foul, about to be 17.
Did he even touch him?
Of course, we were like, oh, we'll do a live reaction tonight.
I don't think he even touched him.
We'll do a live reaction. We'll do a live reaction 10 minutes later. Oh, Joel's out of the game.
Yeah.
He didn't even touch him. I would challenge that. He did not even touch him. Like, not even a little bit. It's the fourth quarter, Nick. You have them. Why not use them? All right. Well, maybe that's the reason. Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. Happy Thanksgiving, Ryan. Oh, yeah, Don. Zion and Brandon Ingram could be a real sneaky duo for sure.
If Zion ever stays healthy. Has anybody in the comments, I'm surprised nobody said Kyrie and Luka yet.
Yeah, I don't think Zion's ever going to be healthy. Yeah, Kyrie, Luka, for sure, Ralph. I mean, but it just depends what Kyrie you getting.
Yeah. Which, what incense,
If he becomes available.
Who?
Is that a guy you look, Kyrie? Is that a guy you look to bring in?
I mean, you would never look away from bringing him in. But the problem, Chrome, is that that's a lot of teams in a short amount of time. And that's problematic to me. That's problematic.
He
talent-wise, he's sensational.
Seem more engaged right now.
Because Cuban's going to let him do whatever he wants. Sixers down 13. Pat Bev on a layup, not a shot. Counts as a shot, but that was a layup. Oh, my God.
And this is just the worst thing about not having Joel, because you don't have that big guy down low.
Rudy
with Cat and Rudy down there, dude, it's just...
Yeah, there's nobody to grab rebounds.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Paul! Look at where you're throwing the basketball, please. Go to the bucket strong.
Oh,
Why are you even looking to make that pass, Tobias? The Pat Bev in the corner. Even if he's wide open, I don't want him shooting it.
14 turnovers for the Sixers.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Like rule 101, don't leave your that's nothing.
That's an offensive foul, right?
No. No, it's not an offensive foul.
Pat Bev cutting
Wow.
through that defense like a knife.
Oh, that's looked like he was there. That's 2 challenges. Down 14 now.
Is it weird to see that the Magic are 5 games above 500?
No,
I'm not surprised, to be honest with you.
I think it's about time.
Man.
I think it's about time.
Drafting Pancaro was their best move in terms of finding a guy. You know, Wagner's been really good for them.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all.
They're all bench.
They look
Cole-Anthony's a ball player. Jalen Suggs is a ball player. Dude, that you want to talk about deep? You want to talk about a deep club that you might get you get production from everywhere?
It's crazy young how young they are too. That's a young team.
So
whole roster gives you production, Ralph.
Yeah.
Whole roster was probably a first round pick.
Is Markel back yet for them, or is he still out with the?
Oh, check.
I'll check right now.
Ironically enough, what they kind of remind me of, and it's interesting you mentioned that, Tom, is a team that could be a problem come playoff time, at least in the first round. They remind me of when the Sixers first made the playoffs against the Magic in the late 90s. It was the season before we made it to the finals. It was that 50-game season where we faced Orlando, and it was like Penny, Nick Anderson. It was the point guard. I can't remember, but that team was young for the most part. They had a lot of depth, that Sixers team, and that kind of reminds me of them.
He's not back, Ralph.
They have Anthony Black in his spot. Anthony Black is a good player so far.
Yeah, they don't.
I forgot they got Anthony Black.
Orlando's going to be a problem for somebody. Watch.
I mean, Cole-Anthony's a pimp too. So I mean, he's a really good player.
Cole's pretty good.
Banchero is legit though. I mean,
and Wagner's been really good for them. Franz Wagner.
They also got I think Jonathan Isaac's finally back from his whole injury stuff like that too.
Yeah, Isaac's been good. Obviously, Wagner's been good.
It's just so weird that because I don't know, Orlando for a couple more than 5 years it seems like has been such a shit team.
Well, you have to think
weird.
Right. It's at some point you have to hit on a couple in a row that's going to have some kind of a chemistry.
Right.
You have to think it's inevitable at some point. Sometimes it's not. Some teams go a real long time without being good.
Yeah, I mean, even Aaron, even though Aaron Gordon won a ring last year, Aaron's probably Jesus Christ, I was there for, my whole entire career pretty much. I don't even think we even sniffed over 500 at one point. So,
well, sure. I think his role was expected to be much bigger than what his capabilities are.
I think Aaron, to become that, the superstar for them, right? The face of the franchise, and
it's almost like
3. All right, so Sixers now down
14.
About 8
it's
minutes
almost
to go
like
here. So can they get
it's almost like Iguodala.
Can they get a couple stops?
It's almost like Andre here,
3,
right? Oh, there's another.
That's good.
When he came here, I felt like there was a lot of pressure on him to be the next guy the next star. And I don't think he was ever really equipped to do that. He's more of a high-level player on a team that's built to win now. And that's when I think you started to see, obviously, the best out of Iggy was when, he was in Golden State and 6-man, and he was a much better player in that role. And that's
good luck. Oh, you got to finish
go.
that, boy. Oh, boy. All right. Leads 15. No, you got some uphill climbing to do here to even get back into this game.
Well, you need buckets fast, though.
See if Sixers can get a few stops.
That's not a walk. Looked like he took about 4 steps on that.
And Rudy Gobert's doing like Hakeem, like left-handed hooks. Like, can we stop? He stinks. Yeah, this looks to be all about over here. Unless the Sixers go on a huge run.
Gonna be a real short live reaction.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, they're just missing threes. They don't have their legs. It's just.
Yeah, Tobias didn't look like he had very much under that.
It's good.
No.
It's good. They know it. I know it. None of them have played well tonight. So outside of like Morris, who has the legs. No excuse, but you can't not have the legs and then not have 30 points. You know.
No, and I think that's what we saw with Boston too, right? I think with Boston, we kind of saw that 3 games and 4 nights last week. You kind of started to see the wheels fall off that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and again, not trying to make an excuse of it because I'd prefer the wheels not to fall off. You know what I mean?
It's the NBA season. It happens. You're gonna have games like this. You're gonna have nights like this.
Nobody's looking for a wheel fall off, but we're looking. Sorry, I'm trying to look something up here. Sixers related. But okay. So they get a couple days off here now. They don't play till November 25th, which I believe is Sunday. No, Saturday. Okay, Saturday the 25th. They're in Oklahoma City. And then
it's a very good OKC team.
Very good. Who's also 10-4 at the moment. And then they come back home, and that is Monday night, 7:00. Lakers in town. Hey, Ralphie. And then
we got you guys early this year. Usually it's later on in the year. We got you guys early.
We'll be over there, and then we go to New Orleans on Wednesday, at 8:00. So New Orleans next Wednesday at 8. So that's our essential week schedule. Because then December 1st is Friday.
So Ryan Swope mentioned Garland and Mitchell as a duo. I don't even know that Mitchell's going to be on that team by the trade deadline. So his name's been floated out there quite a bit as a potential trade candidate. He might be.
Who's this? You said Donovan
Mitchell. Yeah.
Yeah.
He might be a Knicks by the end of the season.
OKC is going to keep becoming crazier. You know what I mean? That's all that's going to happen there. There's going to keep getting better, more players, and then they're just going to have this team full of like Orlando on steroids. You know what I mean? Because if they hit, I mean, obviously got to hit, but they could have a bench of a bunch of their bench could be 7 deep with first round pick, like not just first round picks, but like lottery picks. I mean, they've acquired so much from so many teams, and not right now either. Like they got so much future stuff. I mean, I always want to know what they have because I feel like they still got freaking future picks still to come from teams that may be bad in 2 or 3 years. I feel like they.
Oh yeah, and they definitely have picks from like playoff teams that are like playoff teams now. Yeah. That you would think that are going to be like bottom of the barrel, middle of the pack teams in 2 to 3 years now. So.
For sure.
I mean, they have a shit ton of first-round picks and second-round picks to move and shake, and it's insane what Sam Presti has done over there in OKC in a short amount of time.
Yeah, it is. That's a walk, too, on Towns. Absolute walk. Not that it matters. Melton, nope.
Yeah, Sam Presti's done an excellent job in terms of acquiring assets. I mean, deep.
No, he's done a tremendous job. All right, this game's over. So that's 107-88. Sixers down 19. So that's officially a Rizap. And Flyers down here 3-2. About a minute left in the third. So, actually.
Yeah, not a great night for Philly sports so far.
No, not at all. So 104 left in the Flyers for anybody keeping track at home. And obviously we'll keep you updated here on what goes on in the Sixers game because it's not good. Not the kind of live reaction we wanted to do, but hopefully next week, Wednesday night, New Orleans. Hopefully, that's a little bit better of a one. And Joel
Yeah.
should be good very soon because now he's gonna have like 4 days off total till the next time he plays. For Saturday. He played on Monday. So yeah, he's got
Monday.
4 or 5 days off. I mean, come on.
Shit.
Empty netter, that's a miss. See if the Flyers can go on a rush. Here, just to give us something. Come on, babe. Who wants to make a push? Where you at, TK?
Here we go.
TK's been sensational too.
This whole Flyers team has just
They're a fun team to watch.
They can
really
skate.
are.
They can skate. They're a year away in my opinion still, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. Did
That a
TK just
penalty?
get it in the face?
I think they just called a penalty.
Is he hurt?
Get 24-second power play here.
Crown the guy and then he's hurt. You know what I mean? Just crown him and he got hurt.
He got up. He's all right.
Let me know about the penalty. I'm switching back. See this raping. What's going on over here? I mean, Sixers just, I love you, Nick. Tonight's the night you just stop calling timeouts. You know what I mean? Tonight's the night you just shut her down.
Just let the time run out.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I know there's coaching moments. Let's just do that on the plane ride. Yeah, right.
A lot of film. A lot of film to look over.
I know you got them. You want to use them.
Yeah.
But call it a day. Come on, Flyers. And they do have a power play, Chrome. No, they don't. Empty net. Shoot it. Oh, it's in front. TK.
Oh,
Back in the net. No way. Flyers lose.
damn it.
Flyers lose. There's one down. Now we're off to more misery. He had a chance. He just couldn't get it. He couldn't get a handle on that puck. If you guys were watching, he just couldn't get the proper shot off. Would you just see it, Ralph?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he just couldn't get it. You see how he got tangled almost with himself?
I know the guys on Tuesday night, Matt and all them, and Rob and Brian and Brad. It's crazy to think because this coming into this year with the Flyers, just everybody thought it was going to be a wash, and they were only going to win 20-something games, and nobody was going to go, and they came out flying, man. They're second in the Metro right now.
Yeah,
they had 10 wins and they're flying right now.
I think getting Couturier back is huge.
Yeah, best two-way player. One of the best two-way players in the game, and you're getting him back finally. So hopefully he can stay healthy, but we'll see.
Yeah, and honestly, to what Tom said earlier in terms of TK, right? We've been waiting, right? I felt like we saw glimpses early on.
Yeah,
but I almost felt like this last season and a half, it's kind of been a wash. Like I felt like he almost regressed. It was like he disappeared. But obviously this season he's come out and seems to have taken more of a leadership role, and his play on the ice is indicative of that. And I think that's huge for the Flyers because they need that. They need, especially there's not many guys that have been on this roster.
You need to start with. It all starts with let's get one current day top 10 player in hockey, right? It's all gonna start there, right? You can't start this with a bunch of just good players, right? It all starts with a unicorn, right? Who's your unicorn right now? Right now, right? Amongst your team and in the league, who's your guy that you could say, hey, this guy over this year on, over the next 4 years could maybe lead the league in scoring, right? Maybe that's a very tall task, but
you're right.
Put you in a top 10 category, right? And you need some of those guys, man. You can't, they're way better with it. They have more in the pipeline, obviously, which we've heard for years, and that's great, right? But it takes a couple of unicorns, dude, or you're just fighting uphill. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You're just never going to fully turn the corners of franchise unless you have some guys that not only you can sell, but you can sell them because of their production.
Well,
you need goal scorers. You need. Come on, in this league, you better have 50 goal scorer.
Well, that's the thing, right? I feel like
Blake, you watch a lot of hockey, right? I mean, you feel like you watch hockey, right? This league's even different than the years we grew up. right? It's way more open.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
the thing. I stand by what I've said for a long time, and you guys know I've said this on numerous shows. I feel like Claude Giroux was a very undervalued and underrated star player in this city. However, to your point, Tom, I can't remember the last time the Flyers had a guy that we said this dude could put up 45, 50 goals a season.
It's been a long time, man.
I mean, Yager was really
time.
good the 1 year he was here. Maybe Yager that 1 year, but aside from that, like maybe Forsberg when he was here. And how long ago was that? Like it's been
04,
years.
05, 03,
Yeah.
in that range.
Like we're going
More
on
than
15
20
years since the Flyers have had a guy that you could say, that's like your Austin Matthews. Like I don't even need it to be like a Ovechkin or Crosby level guy, but like, the next tier guys of like they've never found that Austin Matthews type of player to where a young guy in the draft that can come in and immediately, whether it's year one or year one after playing a year in the AHL, comes in and he's just gonna immediately contribute. They haven't had that. We thought we had a couple guys like that. Nolan Patrick, we thought would be something more than he was. He just haven't hit. Frost, we thought would be that guy.
Nolan was supposed to be that guy, right, for us, but then the concussions and the injuries piled up.
Was never the same after that.
Even when he went to Vegas, right, he still was the same player, right? Nothing there. And then Morgan Frost, everybody had high hopes on him, and it seems like he came and scratched the starting lineup some nights. I think he had 7 or 8 healthy scratch so far already, and it's been 17 games, 17, 18 games already in the year, and it's insane. So.
Tortorella don't fuck around, by the way.
No, he don't, man.
He doesn't care where you were drafted.
At the end of the day, though, that's what we needed, though, right? We needed a coach that came in and held everybody accountable, almost like a Doc Rivers, right? Like a guy that could come in and hold everybody accountable. Like you said, Chrome, like it didn't matter where you were, if you were drafted number 1 or the last pick in the draft. If you weren't skating hard or playing hard, you weren't playing the next game.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if he's going to be the guy that's going to get us to the promised land, so to speak. I mean, his history kind of indicates that at some point his time wears thin. However, at this point in this where this team is at right now, they needed that guy. They needed that guy to come in and drop the fucking hammer. Yeah. And again, too, with their front office, I love their front office now with Keith Jones, who's one of the best hockey minds, bar none, in the league. Always has been, well respected. He's won Emmys for his work as an analyst and doing play-by-play. And obviously Danny Briere, we all love Danny Briere. He's another smart hockey mind. I mean, I'm not big on the bringing in retreads and guys from the past to, like let's take care of the old guard and give them jobs.
I hated the guys that were in the past that actually had a pulse in the realm of everything, right?
It's guys who understand the game extremely well. Like I felt like Bobby Clark at some point wore thin. Like it was we kept him here for way too long. But these two guys I look at as the exception. I think they have a really good front office now, and they have a head coach who I think is going to toe the line. And that's what this young team needs now. And I think as of now, we're seeing the results.
Yeah, I want to add your point about that, Croman, like about how this organization just kept certain guys around like too long. Like, you made a good point, like Bobby Clark. You talk about Paul Holmgren, just old school guys, which in their time in the organization, at one time they did great things. They made some, when they were the GM or whatever respective role they were doing in the organization, they did make the franchise better. But as time went on, the game, I think, passed them, and I think they just became out of touch and just weren't keeping up with what today's game is. And I think that's what has held the franchise back, I think, for years. And I think, like you said, now they're in a great position with, Keith Jones running things and then Danny Briere in the front office. I think we're in for some exciting things, I think, down the road.
Yeah, you would hope so, because it's not just running the retreads out there and keeping them in a position of power for way too long because you feel like you owe somebody something from the 70s. So,
well, the thing with Bobby Clark,
to get that mindset, real quick, to get that mindset away from this organization, and that mindset was Broad Street Bullies, right? So, like this team couldn't outskate, an amateur team, for points over the last 2 decades,
Yeah.
where you saw the league was slowly getting to that point, right? That's not less physicality, but guys who can skate around, playmakers, guys who can, if you want to dump and chase, guys who can actually chase. You can't dump unless you can actually chase. So, now you're starting to see that turnover, right? Of okay, now you're starting to see those players in the organization more, right? Those guys who can skate, those guys that are more playmakers. You're starting to see the shift in the thought process that those organization was stuck in for decades, and nobody wanted to ever listen to me. You'd have a couple guys, but the rest of your roster would be full of like tough guys and big guys like that couldn't skate enough. Like, okay, Claude Giroux isn't like the fastest skater. He's more of a quickness playmaker type. There's differences, right? Like there's differences, but like nothing around him was this extremely like, I don't want to say high level skaters because these guys are playing in the NHL, right? But at NHL level, high level skaters. You understand? Yeah. That's the difference of years. These guys were high level skaters, obviously.
Like, can you imagine, like,
at the NHL level? No.
Can you imagine if they would have put a score with Jay, like with the way he handled the pucks, and like you said, quickness, stick handling,
like connect me, like just
my goodness. Like, if you imagine if G had an actual fucking like goal scorer, like imagine if he was literally like,
who did he play with? He played with a lot of guys. Real quick,
he's like the Malkin to Crosby. You know what I mean? He would be like
when we went to the finals. Who were his wingers? Right?
Who's Giroux?
Yeah, because I mean, I guarantee he had goal scorers.
Yeah, we had
Voracek for a while.
We had Carter and Richards on that team, which were the 1-2 punch on that team, right? And
True.
then the following year, you trade both of them, and you haven't been back to the cup since. So
no, but then you had Voracek with Giroux, right, Ralph?
Danny Briere was on that team.
The following year, Voracek was on that team. Yeah, that's who we traded Carter for.
Okay. Yeah.
Danny Briere was on that team.
Correct. Yep.
Scotty Hartnell.
Okay.
Dan Carcillo, can't forget him.
Good old Danny Carcillo.
Yeah, and just that's all over with now. Thank goodness. But yeah, wanted to give you a little Flyers talk. Sixers down 112-98, 44 seconds left. Everybody's out of the game. So
yeah, last thing I'll say about the Flyers, Tom, to your point, it was exactly where I was going with it. That was the thing with Bobby Clark, was that Broad Street bully mentality as the game developed and transformed. That's what we continued to try to build. And it was like, bro, this is not the NHL game anymore. It's a faster game. You can't just have guys out there thugging around and knocking guys. Like, it's not the style of hockey anymore. And I think that set the organization back literally like 6 years, just trying to constantly do that instead of going out and getting goal scorers.
Yeah, they've been lost in it, right? Like I said, I seen Bobby Clark walk out of bars, 20 years ago, hammered. I'm like, this guy's making decisions tomorrow. Like, couldn't find his car one night. Like, he's making decisions, and I love Bobby. Right? Like, come on. Because again, you can't be in that kind of power for that long. You understand? When you don't own something, right? Like as a president of hockey operations or a general manager or whatever the hell it was with him, with Ed Snyder, who I get it, Ed. I get it. He helped build your franchise, right? That's never an easy conversation. That to go into a guy that you've been that close with forever and have that conversation, right?
Yeah,
Not easy.
As a player and as a business partner, right?
Yeah.
Go in and be like, hey man, we gotta cut ties, so
like this isn't working. Like you don't want to do that after that kind of lengthy relationship that those two obviously had. But you also have to do what's best for your organization. Now, the organization wasn't inept forever, right? I mean, they just haven't won a cup, right? So that was the thing. It's just they never got a cup, and then I don't know. It just felt like we've never been really all in over the last decade.
Yeah.
Like we were sort of in, we were good, but we weren't like
Well, the Flyers also had that track record of, being good every single year and making it to the playoffs, but just getting to the first and second round and getting knocked out, and then the same old story over and over and over again.
Yeah, for sure.
For the Flyers. So
always. So Sixers lose, Flyers lose. Not the day we wanted. You know what I mean? Sixers dropped to 10-5. Anybody with a pulse could sort of smell this with no Joel, that this was going to be a game that was going to be very hard for them to win. And in an NBA game where you saw teams put up 300 combined the other night, when you look at this game, the Sixers put up 99. So really couldn't find the offensive punch without their leading scorer tonight. So makes sense. And on a back-to-back, just to add on to it. So 10-5. Again, they play Saturday at 5 in Oklahoma City. So we'll get a Joel back. They'll enjoy their Thanksgiving, I'm sure, after 2 straight losses. But it is what it is. It's all good. So you guys what we'll do is we'll take a quick commercial timeout. We'll come back and we'll get into our Eagles predictions and offense, defense players of the game. And we will say happy Thanksgiving to everybody and call it a show. So we thank you all who are tuning in. Don, we're glad we could supply some Flyers talk for you, babe, or some hockey talk, I should say. But this is A2D Wednesday nights, and we will be right back.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom-reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
Hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics, Hats.com can help you elevate your hat John. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at Hats.com to find your perfect size and style, and shipping and returns are free. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. Hats.com.
Welcome back, everybody. A2D Wednesday nights on A2D Radio. Like we say every Wednesday, we're brought to you by Royal Billiard. We're also brought to you by Hats.com. And like Irvin said, go use promo code Philly for 15% off your order over at Hats.com. So make sure you go check them out and use promo code Philly, and you get 15% off your order. So go check them out. Time for Eagles score, Jason, of the Sixers. It's over. 112-99. Sixers lost. It was never a game. Felt like they lost by 30. So the fact that it was only 112-99 wasn't as bad. Riz, who we trading, babe? You out on the Sixers?
Oh,
you done?
man.
You done, Riz? Right when we're about to segue? You done?
Joel didn't play, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He must be getting traded tomorrow. That's the trade. Joel's getting traded tomorrow.
Amazing how all the negativity comes out after 2 losses.
Yeah. Here we go.
That's what happened the last time we lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, last week. Pretty much last week.
This is literally the exact same thing. I gotta say, every time I see that Carlino's commercial, I get fucking hungry. Oh my god, that
the food so there when we were
it is. Oh. It's so good, so good.
Phenomenal stuff. It's only like a 20-minute drive for me too. I might stop over Friday. You know what I mean?
Lucky man. Get them meatballs.
RJ, I'm sorry, RJ. I'm sorry. RJ, my bad. I don't know why I always do that. Come in every time you start, you come back in, just put RJ first. So now we're want to trade Paul Reed to that trade package for Levine. Okay. It's just, I just feel like it's like another guy who needs the ball in his hands a lot.
No, we don't need Zach Levine. Zach Levine doesn't make sense here.
I don't know.
We'll see.
If they did it, they do it, right? And I'll see how it plays out. But I don't know how much I'm shooting for it. Happy Thanksgiving, RJ. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody just joined us. We're going to give your Eagles.
Thanksgiving, guys.
We're going to give your Eagles.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody out there.
So Eagles score. Give me a score of the game, Eagles Bills, and give me your offense defensive player of the game. Chance for you to win. 250. I'll just say 250 again. I don't know if anybody's won. Brinkman hit it on A2D post, but that was it, but he doesn't count. So score predictions. Guys, go first. I need to think about this a little bit.
I'll go first. My score, Bills are struggling, man. Struggling. Seems like Josh Allen is leading the league in interceptions with 12. Eagles got their first turnover, and I think it was 4 weeks now. The first turnover in 4 weeks. So hopefully we can get another one this week again. So I'm gonna go Eagles win this one. We go to 10-1. We beat Buffalo at home. I'm gonna go 27-20. Birds win.
27-20. Okay.
Yeah, I got the Birds winning this game as well. Everybody wants to say Buffalo's back. They figured it out, but I mean, let's be real. Look at what they played last week. I mean, that's not exactly an indicator.
And struggled.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe a little bit of a confidence boost, but there's so much going on in that organization right now. They're getting older. I'm not buying the Bills this season. I got Birds winning this game 31-24.
31-24.
So you had 31-24. I had 27-20.
Yeah, I'm going to I think like for this matchup, I think as much as I like to say I think the Eagles should dominate and do whatever they can against Buffalo. Something in my mind's telling me this is going to be closer than what it should be. So I'm going to go 24-17 Eagles. I think it's going to be one of those down the wire games in the fourth quarter. But I think in the end, like we've done with a lot of games, we have a closeout moment. And I think either Hassan Reddick, I think will come up big like he always does. In the down the stretch in the waning moments of the game. So 24-17 Birds.
It's hard to get a read on this game right now.
It is.
For a lot of reasons. Just played Monday night, obviously. It's a big win, right? This team is tough. They're resilient as shit. They find ways to win games. This Buffalo team's not playing at a high level. They played better last week. I do think they're good. I really do. I think they're really good. They just got some things to figure out. I don't think this is a cupcake walking into town either by any stretch. Our defense has played really well. It's been different groupings every week stepping up for this football team.
I mean, I think that's the key, though, Tom. Us being home, I think, it gives me a little bit more confidence as well with this. If they were on the road in Buffalo, I'd be a little bit more worried.
And another thing too with Buffalo,
Kelly Green's this week too.
Right, they're 5-5, right? And if they don't make the playoffs, does Sean McDermott even stay? So you have a coach that might be fighting for his life to stay for another year, right? And if you fall 5-6, is that enough to dig you out to even get to the playoffs, right? So you might have a desperate Buffalo team coming into Philly to just get a winning move to 6-5. So.
Yeah, I feel like there's a desperate team walking in the building. We're not desperate, nor should we be.
No.
We should be trying to get a win for sure. I don't think I don't think there's any letdown with us, especially at home. You can make a case Monday was more of a letdown performance-wise, until the end as a whole.
Yeah.
So,
well, that first half of football was horrendous. You know what I mean?
I don't really buy into that for good teams, right? Or the whole letdown stuff. They'll be ready to play. That's a good football team walking in, and they're going to know how desperate they are. So we got to come here and we got to take care of business, and I think we will. I'm going to go 31-28 Eagles.
Okay.
I think our offense is going to pick up this week a little bit, but I do think they're going to score. Like I think they're good. I do, and they love the big play. So we'll see. We'll see if we can contain that big play. He's a problem, but to get to. So is Mahomes, right? We were able to get to him. That was different conditions. That's pouring. We'll see what Sunday's conditions are here. But Josh Allen's good. I know he hasn't had the year everybody expected him to have, but I still think he's really talented, and he can make so many plays with his legs. So we'll see how you supposedly can't run the football against us. Kansas City did. So I'm interested to see what kind of game plan Buffalo comes in with in terms of running with Murray and Cook, to see if they try to establish any type of run game different than what they've been doing outside of last week. They did a better job with it. But if they can set up their play action with the receivers they have, that's a little concerning. But I do still think we're going to win the football game. So that's what I'm going with. All right. Offense, defensive players of the game, boys.
My offensive player of the game is going to be DeAndre Swift. I'm going to go back to him. Give me 2 touchdowns this week.
Nice.
I'm going to go AJ here, coming off of a 1 reception, 8-yard game. And listen, and for good reason. Obviously Devontae had a really big game the other night, and but I got a feeling that typically when he has a down game, he comes back big the next week. So I expect to see AJ maybe 2 tutties in this game.
Thanks, Cotton Ball. I was going to go there, Chrome. So good call. Blake, what do you got? Offensive player of the game.
Yeah, I'm going to go because he had a good game last week. I'm going to go with Devontae Smith again. I think he gets he's due for a couple scores, and I think he gets over 100 yards receiving. I'm going to go like 5 catches, $120, and a couple scores.
Yeah. I was going to go there after AJ. So I'm going to go with the quarterback. I think he needs to play well. He didn't read the defense well last week. I thought he was a little hesitant to stay in the pocket last week. So we'll see. I haven't seen too much of that this year. He's been better with it, but you're always going to have games where you revert, like in the bad habits. It's part of sports. I say to my players all the time, are you able to get yourself out of it? He did in the 4th when it mattered most. So that's what he does. So I hope that's a bounce back. The ending to that game, it felt like they were scared to throw the ball in the fucking rain. Excuse my language. They're like, that's you want to give us with Brian Johnson. That's what pisses me off. Like 4 out of 6, but like according to some people, you can't be critical. This is what we got to understand, right? And I said to Chucks because he just whatever. He's out of control with stuff. I said, Chucks, why are you paying attention to people talking about firing a guy at 9-1, right? When we were talking about Gannon, there wasn't firing him in season. There was never talks of that. We crushed him. We didn't like him, and we were looking to move on from him, right? 2 things can be right. You can be playing a good high level on defense, but you think your coordinator's an idiot, right? And here, right? And you could have elite players like they did last year, okay? In a lot of spots. This year, we talk about offensively, it takes 2 to tango here, right? So part of it's on Jalen Hurts too, because he's got plays he can run in certain, obviously, pre-snap reads what he gets. That's just common sense for any franchise quarterback or any quarterback that plays in the National Football League. So it's not just one guy. That's the whole point of the conversation. It's never one guy. If your quarterback is one looking and going, then you think you're given time for anything, right? So all these things factor in. I'm not looking to fire, like nobody said I was, but like personally, I'm not looking to fire Brian Johnson. I think Brian Johnson, at times. I don't like some of his play calls, his decisions. 4 out of 6 bubble screens of wide receivers makes me shake my head. Like, what are we? What are we at? TCU? Where are we at Utah again, Bry? You know what I mean? Like, I respect the hell out of what that dude's done to get to this level. But are we at Utah? No, we're not. So, you want to throw 1 or 2 to set up the deep ball? Fine. I get it. You're trying to draw guys in. I get what you're trying to set up. But at the end of the day, like, you need to be able to throw the football down the field, and you need to be able to make your reads. And on Monday, Jalen wasn't doing that. He wasn't.
There's a couple plays Jalen probably should have called an audible at the line and switched out of some of those plays. But the other thing too, I hated coming out that first drive and they did the same thing the first drive of the second half, running the ball on first and second down. I'm down to run the ball first down. They should have threw the ball on second down. And I hated that they came out literally the exact same way in the second half. And that's kind of, at first it concerned me because then I thought, okay, are we not making adjustments here? Or are we overcoaching this and that they don't think you're going to come back the same way, so you're going to come back the same way? And obviously as it progressed, they were a little bit more efficient with passing the football with the play calling in the second half. But I was not a fan of those early drives in each half and the play calling.
Not me either. Nor should anybody be. And again, it's 2 to tango. I've said that all year about when Jalen's developed into a franchise guy. I've been clear about that. Like, you got to remember, like, not you, like, people out there, like, he has the right to change the play call. So you might see a play call and not like it, and that's not what originally was called in, right? So that's what people got to realize. So it could be design of what your arsenal of plays are. Then then it's a design of that play, right? Then you go to his play design, not his play calling. That's the fucking difference here, right? I don't think he has bad play designs. So when I'm critical, I don't think it's his designs at all, right? I don't think so. I see guys open. So I think a lot of it falls on the quarterback. When he's on and he's clicking, then look at the play calls. Is it any different than last year? No, I got a funny A2D post going out of laying in bed looking at Shane Steichen, missing him with in a picture, but that's a different, like, that's just being funny. That's not like I want Brian Johnson fired. It's like a perfect week to pull that off because they were anemic on offense. And then I didn't think they ran the ball enough. There was they ran too much with Jalen. It was really weird. I just think it could be better. It could be more consistent. And guess what? It's your first time being a play caller in the NFL. I mean, you deserve that year.
Yeah,
especially when you're 9-1. Especially when you're 9-1. So I'm good with it. Defensively, did we do that yet?
No.
No, not yet.
I'll jump in head first on the defensive play of the game here. I think because we need him to be. We need to try to find ways to get to the quarterback. So I'm going Hassan Reddick here because we need him to get home to Josh Allen. Whether you want to go him or Sweat, I'll just go Hassan just because I don't think he's ever there when I actually get a chance to pick. So I'm taking him this week. Hassan Reddick, 2 sacks, helps us to control Josh Allen a little bit.
It's a great pick. KZ, no, we're not complaining about the game. We're not at all. You just caught us at the wrong time. We're not complaining. I was talking about people being critical of Brian Johnson and or firing. That's just a stupid conversation.
A bunch of dummies are all over the internet talking about we got to fire him, and that's ridiculous. No, we're saying there's certain things we didn't love, but that doesn't mean the guy needs to get the axe. I mean, they're 9-1.
Yeah, the whole conversation was based on like the quarterback has decisions to make play calls at the line of scrimmage.
Exactly, right.
Or the right to. All right, who's next? Defensive.
I'll go next. I'm gonna go on the opposite side of the line. I'm gonna go Josh Sweat. 2 sacks this week for Josh Sweat.
Maybe they both get 2.
Yeah,
Blake,
I'll take it.
Who you got?
I'm going to go with the beast, the rookie beast himself, Jalen Carter. I think he has a monster game, stuffs the run, and just gets a sack here. I agree, like with Chrome and Ralph. I think like that our edge rushers are going to probably do the majority of the sack total. So, but he'll have a sack. He'll get one. He'll contribute to the sack total, but he'll be dominant all the way. So Jalen Carter is my pick.
I'm going to go with Kevin Byard as mine again. Week 2 here of going
Hey,
Kevin
you got
Byard.
to pick last week. You got
He
to
did,
pick Monday
Ralphie.
night.
He did. I'm going to get another pick on Josh Allen here. Another big pick, like talking second half, 31-28 type game, like I'm talking, right? Like that's just that big pick.
Honestly, it's amazing that you're the only one to pick somebody from the secondary, considering how much he turns the football over.
All right. He might even get 2. I mean, this is a week, hopefully, to wet your beak a little bit more back there. But again, Monday night, we did a great job of that, right? We took 2 in red zone, 2 red zone picks. That's game changing stuff, man. Right? That's different. You want to know what Kansas City didn't win? They didn't win because Marquise Valdez-Scantling dropped the football. They shouldn't even got to that point. They turned the football over twice in the red zone.
The fumble in the red zone by Kelsey and the interception.
Let me say this real quick. I know we're getting ready to jump off here.
Yeah,
but let me just say this. This idea of, they said, if he catches that ball, the game is over. There was a minute and 40-something seconds on the clock. The Eagles still had all their timeouts. The game was not necessarily over. They had plenty of time to try to drive the ball down and at least get in the field goal range. So it's been kind of driving me crazy that all week all these shows are saying, well, if he makes that catch, the game's over. No. There's almost 2 minutes on the clock.
22. He dropped that ball, but Devontae didn't.
Chrome, I agree 100% on that. That was driving me crazy as well. It's like, even if he catches that touchdown, the Eagles still had plenty of time. They had all their timeouts. I really was not worried. Even if they had scored on that possession, I was not worried. I thought we had enough time to drive down the field to either tie the game or win the game.
No, because they've done it this year. They've shown. Like, that's the thing, whether it's defensively or offensively. The one thing that you could say inconsistency with play calling, with the quarterback and with anybody else. But the one thing that's remained consistent is when the game is on the line, this team has made plays, whether it's offensively or it's defensively. They've made the big play or multiple big plays in the last 3, 4, 5 minutes of a game to be able to close a game out. So, I mean, to sit there and say that the Eagles were done if Kansas City scores with 140 something seconds, with a minute 40 something seconds left is just it's naive, very, very naive and very lazy. It's a lazy team.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, if he catches that ball and he scores, it's over.
Yeah, everybody's saying, the Eagles would have lost that game if he catches that. But well, they had a minute and 40 something seconds left to come down the field with all their timeouts.
Or 2, they had 2, but either way.
And they were moving up and down the field a lot in that second half as well. So I mean, to say that they wouldn't have the ability to drive down the field and score a touchdown was egregious to me, or at least kick a field goal.
Phil, I wouldn't say fortunately we got a fumble. Like you got to create. They created a fumble. That was a punch out. I mean, I got you, but they're making big plays. Real quick before we get out of here, anybody has a problem with Nick Sirianni being emotional? Buy a goddamn clue, okay? Because you never played a damn sport in your life. Bro, let me restart this because I want this job. So, to the public, anybody who has a problem with Nick Sirianni being emotional after a win or yelling something at a fan, like who cares? One, who cares? 2, people are like, that's not the way a head coach should operate. What are we in 1950? We would put a stupid hat on their head that they all wore back then. Yeah, come on, people. Grow up. People have to have emotion. Sports are emotional. And if you don't think they are, you never played it. I mean, all the fans that are in an uproar about it, do you get emotional when you watch the damn games? Do you have emotion then? So a coach who has emotion and actually shows it and presents it to people. If you like him or not, you got to respect it when we ask people to be themselves. We ask players and coaches to be themselves, and you got a guy that's willing to do it, and then we're going to be critical of it. Grow the hell up. People are this is what's wrong. This is why I tell you to listen to A2D, because people out there are just looking for headlines. We're looking for headlines. It's stupid. What are we even talking about? Are you running out of things that on Drive Time Radio to talk about? Are you running out of things on Twitter to talk about? Why is that even a topic of conversation? Why? For what? I'm confused. The guy's open, honest, has some goddamn bravado to him, and now we're offended? Like Jack Fritz, you're offended? When Harper's got bravado, are you offended? Okay, that's the first guy I'm hunting with that one. Are you offended? Because you love it. Because he gives you hugs in locker rooms. Don't be one-way highways in the media. You want to being the damn media, you can't allow hugs and handshakes that dictate how you keep it real. You can't. You can love a guy. There's nothing wrong with Nick Sirianni did. So anybody out there has a problem with it, act like you played sports, man. Like the created as like a topic of conversation to me is stupid. I'm not going after this Jack. Like he does a good job, right? But my point is like you can't keep it real. Phillies guys do it all the time. So
well, we sat back and watched Andy Reid, and everybody complained that Andy Reid had no emotion. Oh, time's yours. Like everybody complained that he was too vanilla. So now you got a guy who's the opposite. You know, you got a guy who's more emotional, who's invested in, and that's why his guys buy in. That's why his players buy in and love him, because he's in there with them. He's emotional with them. He's riding the emotional wave with them. That's important to guys when you play. You want your coach to feel the ups and downs and not be a robot and give you the generic basic lines. Well, guys, we could have did this better. We'll get them next time. The little pat on the ass. That's not what you want anymore. These guys want guys who are going to be in the trenches with them. That's the bottom line. And if they don't have that, it's hard for these guys to buy in. And I'm okay with that. I'm 100% in for that.
Listen, real quick, the national media wants to do it, let them do it, right? Cotton ball. My problem is when the local media wants to get involved like it's a damn problem. Because then what? Like we're passionate. So that means you never watched an Eagles game and had fire, yelled and screamed something. Like, come on, knock it off, people. So we want our coach to just be freaking a dryer sheet. You know what I mean? We want him to be missionary like Gannon. Grow the hell up, people. I want passion. I want emotion. Christ. Martian, love you, bro. Love you, baby. Love you guys all. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Cotton Ball,
Happy Thanksgiving,
Donnie,
everybody.
Bryce, Keys, Phil, KZ.
Eat up tomorrow, man. Food coma.
Eat it up. Eat it up. Enjoy it with family. Everybody who chimed in tonight, we love you. We appreciate you. Hit the like and subscribe on your way out. For Crone, Blake, Ralphie, I'm Tom. We're thankful for everybody out there. That's what we're thankful for. Thankful for everybody out there. So I hope you guys are a little thankful for us too. Double thanks.
Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You too, brother. You too. We're brought to you by Royal Billiard, the premier game room store in the Delaware Valley. They're stocked with the very best in pool tables, accessories, shuffleboards, card tables, dart supplies, bars, and bar stools. Turn any ordinary room to an extraordinary gaming experience. Go check out their hot tubs. All right, babe. Jump in a hot tub. Stop by Royal Billiard, located 515 Bethlehem Pike. Call them RPA or visit them on the web, royalbilliard.com. To leave everybody with this, KZ, I want winners and I want fucking fire. Okay? I got to go play Thanksgiving Day football tomorrow, so I won't be able to walk for the weekend. Love you all. Appreciate you. Screw you, Ralphie, for not coming. We're out.
See you guys.